Hey everyone, how are you? How are you? How are you? It's really great to welcome you to this Rich Girl broadcast today. I love the time with you and I love your comments. So I'm going to say to you, please just comment away today. Just talk as openly as you possibly can, because we're going to be taking a shift in the topic that we have today. And then I know that many of you have some strong feelings about these opinions and about this topic. So please comment right along with me. Write what is on your heart and your mind. I welcome any comments, even if you don't know what I'm saying today. It's okay. Okay. Many of you who know me quite well, and I welcome all of the new people that we have on the Rich Girl Workshop. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We tackle a lot of subjects really that are designed for women, but also a few good men out there too. So what I want to say here is that many of you know me very, very well, and you know that I'm very passionate about promoting cooperation, understanding, progress, and a better way of the American life and liberty. So what makes this topic very near and dear to my heart is yesterday. Yesterday, my husband's mother passed away. She raised seven beautiful children, and she was devoted to her family and her grandchildren. And it makes this topic even more meaningful. So thank you, thank you, thank you for joining us today. Thank you. So, hello, Pat. I love you. And Aquila, thank you for being on. Love you, my friend. And Megan as well. And hi, Jeanette. Thanks for being on. Oh my gosh, I love that you guys are here with me. So thank you. I want to start with a little bit of history. I am Suzanne Brothers Varley, and I am the daughter of Barbara Pearl Bankhead Thompson. And my mother is the daughter of Harriet Isabel Taylor Bankhead. And she is the daughter of Annabelle McMahon Spencer. And she was the daughter of Ellen Butterworth Emmerich of Lancashire, United Kingdom. When she came to America, she definitely was an English girl. Now, I sense these mothers, your mothers, circling around us. And at times I feel that the veil between this world and the next becomes very, very thin. And that feeling becomes stronger when I think or talk about the generations of our mothers. My third great grandmother, Ellen, when she sailed away from England, she left everything, her family, her friends, all of her property, all that she knew, for one reason. And that one reason was so strong that she was not only willing, but she also was willing to risk her very life in order to have the one thing. So many people, as you know, who traveled on the high seas during the 1800s, they died. They died from disease. They died from the elements. They died from all the sicknesses because of the close quarters of the ships. But when Ellen got to New York, she joined a company of travelers who walked or rode in wagons to Nebraska. Long walk, a long travel. She'd already traveled a long, long way on the high seas. And then at that point, she joined another group that walked the rough and very treacherous and dangerous trails to Utah. And that's where many of them settled. But why would our grandmothers give up so much? Why would they risk everything, including their lives? What did they want more for their daughters? Well, I know that they wanted much more than what they had. So we have within each one of us the spirit of the women in our families. We share their DNA. We share that. They are our mothers and our spirits, and quests, concerns, lessons, ambition, life, and the beat of our heart and souls are all intertwined. They are our angels, and I know that they've been assigned to fulfill the vision that they sacrificed prior to us for us to forge on. I know that. But again, what was the driving force of this consuming mission? Why did they receive the strength to keep going? Where did the fortitude come from? Why did my grandma Ellen leave it all? The question begs an answer. The answer, I know that some of you have already guessed it. It was religious freedom. She had converted to a religion that was not accepted or tolerated in England. And this one foundational and basic right that America was founded on. This is the one most important right and privilege that thousands and thousands of immigrants came to this great land to have, the freedom to worship. You know, at first, my young third great grandmother, Ellen, could not convince her newly wedded husband to leave England. He was just going to let her go. But just as she bravely boarded a ship all by herself with nothing but a small suitcase, he decided to come with her. Now, once they settled in a very troubled world and very troubled land, they worked tirelessly to become to make that this home in the West. They never had any children of their own, but they gave a home to many, many women who were abandoned or came from a lot of misfortune. And my grandmother Annabelle, my great grandmother Annabelle, was the only child that they had. She was adopted soon after her own birth mother had passed away. But in 1887, my grandmother Ellen passed away, and she entered heaven's hand. And with that, she left countless kindnesses, services to families, especially women and children. Her life is reflected in mine. Your circle of mothers are reflected in your own, and those sons and daughters who will come after you. So how do you honor women? For each gave you a gift, whether you know it or not, they all gave you a gift. And this week we celebrate Independence Day. So let's take a minute or two or more and think of these enormous sacrifices brought for us to be able to maintain our first liberty rights, that of the consciousness to worship after the dictates of our own heart. Our mothers fought for the future, our families, the hardness of life, and their walk to freedom is one of the reasons that we all enjoy the right for religious freedom. Now, I'm going to tell you why I started with this. And thank you also for all of your comments. Oh my gosh, thank you. Please comment. We've all been restricted. We've all been restricted from carrying on life as we have known it. And some important and great things have come from it. Oh my gosh, don't you know? More family time. Oh yeah, more conversations, more understandings and clearing up misunderstandings, more cleaning of our homes and our yards, right? And a whole lot less of the things that really don't matter. But a real concern that causes us to stop and take a moment is the huge restrictions on our freedom. Essential workers have had many very blurred lines, and it's become very confusing. A lawyer can meet with his clients if they take the necessary precautions. We can go to the store and get our prescriptions. If we take precautions, we can pick up groceries. People can pick up anything they want, really. They can also buy marijuana. They can also protest in the streets. They can go out to dinner. They can play on the beaches. Yet when the same or more precautions are and would be taken for a priest to give the dying last rites, that was not allowed. Blessings, baptisms, or the ability to meet even in small groups, to lift one another, to guide, to courage, to testify of divinity and faith was not allowed. Our government stopped any of this activity. Now, before you guys leave me, I want you to really think about this. How quickly it all shut down. Within 3 days, the entire country came to a halt. And we see our government and the power our government has had. And it's understood absolutely that these measures had to be taken to slow down the spread of this very deadly virus. Yet, to not consider or attend to our spiritual health was not even considered essential. With fear being ultra unleashed, would you agree that our spiritual health is the most essential? No matter what your faith, very respected, all Christians, Muslims, the Jewish religions, the Buddhisms, the non-secular, or the atheist, to preserve our rights to gather when precautions are taken taken is one of our most fundamental rights. It's what our ancestors fought for. It's one of the very reasons we have dedicated men and women serving in the armed forces. You know, they're making a stand every day. And they're also standing in harm's way for what our country was absolutely founded on. So this rich girl subject today is pausing. We're stopping to take a moment and examine our thoughts about freedoms and why they are so important to all of us. You know, my feeling about this before we read some of your comments, I know that they've been coming in, but nothing matters if what's been gained with many lives is taken away because we neglected knowing what could have been the outcomes. We can't call time out, or we can't say, oh, that's not fair. If we allow actions to slowly take us downstream to a place where our founding fathers no longer can help us. A quote from Ezra Taft Benson, and he says that freedom cannot be killed by neglect, or freedom can be killed. Freedom can be killed by neglect as well as a direct attack. So here's where you need to comment to us, okay? In the comment box, how can you teach your daughters of their heritage? How can you impress upon them the cost of freedom and how to preserve it? Because this topic really is basic and foundational, not only to you and I, the rest of the world, but it's foundational to exactly why we have this program every single Monday. It's foundational. So I'm going to see. Oh, thank you. Okay, Debbie. Yes, grateful for a strong woman in our family. Exactly. So please comment on this. How can you teach your daughters of their heritage? And also our sons as well. But today I'm really talking about daughters. How can you impress upon them the cost of freedom and how to preserve it? Okay, give you a few minutes to talk about that. I know when we all look back on 2020 and we'll recall it as a great time of awakening. We will review, we'll dig deeper into our honest thoughts and actions. It's a time of topics that matter because all lives matter. Freedom to worship is at our very core. We all know that worship puts us at the heart of all things. It's our time where God can restore and teach all of us, where the principles of charity, forgiveness, healing, personal revelation, repentance, they're all key to our spiritual progress. Let's see how you guys are doing. Hi, Perline. Hi, Christy. Hi, Christy Starks. Wonderful to have you on. Now, you might need to think about my question to you because it's not typically, I think, a question that we often think about. So I want to pull it back up to the top of your mind. Okay? Top of your mind. Now in closing, and again, thank you for commenting. We're about a minute or two before we close, but I'm going to close with this. We are fooling ourselves when we say that our mothers exist now only in the photographs on our walls, or in the outline of our hands, or in the armfuls of memories that we hold so tight. They live on beneath everything that we do. Their presence influenced who we are, and their absence influences who we become. Our lives, our very lives, are shaped as much by those who leave us as they are by those who stay. Loss is our legacy, but insight is our gift, and memory is our very guide. Memory is our guide. Let's not forget what we have. You guys, thank you so much for being on today. Thank you for allowing me a little creative process today and things that have been on my heart and my mind today, and actually for the last several weeks. I ask the Lord to bless you in all ways, but also protect the very rights and freedoms that we've been given at such a great cost. Linda, thank you. Thank you for commenting here. I can't wait to write you all back this afternoon. Love you, and we'll see you next week. Bye for now.